For today's headlines, empty mic for debate skivers. Stricter transport restrictions eyed. Protocol level shift set. SSS offers pandemic relief. Raps versus BDO hacking suspect filed. NCR robbery, theft, focus crimes decline. Biden threatens Putin with personal sanctions. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and you are watching Tribune News on Cue. Today is January 27, 2022, and here are the latest news of this Thursday morning. The Commission on Elections on Tuesday announced its plan to organize a debate among the presidential and vice presidential aspirants. Those who refuse will suffer the ignominy of seeing his podium blank, empty, and lonely. The debates will be set sometime in February, COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez said in a virtual media event. More debates would be held in March and April, he shared, to culminate the campaign season for the May 9, 2022 elections. Venues in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao will host the events. These parleys will be open to media coverage, he said. Jimenez said that the participation of media will be open, meaning at every debate all media is invited. All media have the chance to watch and cover and may air the debates on their respective platforms. In the past debates, only one broadcast station was allowed to air the program, while other stations hooked up. The COMELEC will discuss the new guidelines with aspirants soon, and he said that COMELEC will start with the candidate negotiations very soon. They already have a draft memorandum of agreement that we will share then with different candidates for them to agree to or for them to amend. Jimenez added that they want a set of guidelines, a set of rules that is applicable to all candidates to avoid questions that happened in the previous debates. No venue is being tapped for the event yet, and health protocols, however, will be observed. While the aspirants will not be required to join the debates, Jimenez disclosed that the poll body will leave the podium empty if an aspirant does not take part in the process. Jimenez said if a candidate refuses to attend, their podium will remain empty, and so they will be making a big deal of the fact that they are not there. So he guesses that for a campaigner that could be a huge motivation to actually attend, so they are pretty confident that they will attend. Meanwhile, the poll body will raffle off slot for the e-rally channel, which will be held on Friday, January 28. Unvaccinated and partially vaccinated workers will no longer be allowed to ride public transportation next month as government authorities move to implement stricter measures to ward off threats of COVID-19. At a joint press conference on Wednesday, Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade, Labor and Employment Secretary Sylvester Bello III, and Interior and Local Government Secretary Eduardo Año announced a decision which said upholds public safety. Under the new protocol, unvaccinated workers in industries and establishments allowed to operate in the National Capital Region will only be given 30 days from January 26 or until February 25 to continue riding public transportation and public utility vehicles in entering, exiting, and going around the metropolis. DOTR Undersecretary for Administrative Service and Official Representative to the IATF, Artemio Tuazon Jr., however, reiterated that the decision should not be tagged as discriminatory since it is meant to protect both unvaccinated and partially vaccinated workers from contracting COVID-19 and later developing severe infections. As jointly decided by the DOLE, DILG, Department of Interior and Local Government, and the DOTR, the workers who will be remaining unvaccinated 30 days after the announcement are not being barred from their workplaces. They are simply not allowed to use public transportation, but can still use other means as active transport, private vehicles, or company shuttle services, Tuazon said. He added that this is to ensure that only those fully protected against COVID-19 are safe from using public transport. Data show that workers who remain unvaccinated against the virus that causes COVID-19 are more vulnerable to severe and critical infections. Libiran said that the policy will only be in effect when NCR is under Alert Level 3 or higher. Once we de-escalate to Alert Level 2, the policy will automatically be lifted. The mobile vaccination drive for commuters and transport workers will run for 5 days from 24 to 28th of January using AstraZeneca vaccine brand as first, second, and booster doses. The National Pandemic Task Force is set to decide this week whether Metro Manila will shift to a more lenient Alert Level 2 by February, according to Malacanang. Without saying what the decision could be, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases will convene on Thursday to discuss this region's COVID-19 situation. Nograles said in an interview with CNN Philippines on Wednesday that they want to make a decision as close as possible to February 1, and over the weekend, they will have to make a decision as far as Metro Manila is concerned. The IATF, Nograles said, is looking at indicators to determine the appropriate alert level that will be imposed in Metro Manila as well as other provinces. Shifting a less restrictive Alert Level 2 means that establishments may accommodate more customers, and under the current scheme, indoor firms located in the metro are limited to 30% venue capacity, while outdoor operations are up to 50%. Earlier this week, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III raised the possibility that Metro Manila could be downgraded from Alert Level 3 to Alert Level 2 next month. He said COVID-19 cases in the region may have already peaked on 15 of January with record high 18,000 infections and are now decreasing. Authorities have also been reminding unvaccinated Filipinos to get anti-coronavirus jabs, which experts believe were effective in preventing hospitalizations and deaths. Senator Christopher Bongo, who is chairperson of the Senate Committee on Health, continues to appeal to the eligible population for vaccination to get inoculated. He believes that if the government vaccinates more Filipinos, then more people will be protected from the severe impact of COVID-19. Based on government data, over 58 million Filipinos so far have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, and more than 6.5 million Filipinos got their booster doses. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
Si Harry Roque ang pinakamagaling na spokesman, kaya inggit sa kanya ang oposisyon.
Tama lang na ipinaglaban ko ang balik trabaho para bumalik ang kita ng mga nagtatrabaho at naghahanap buhay. Hindi pwedeng magutom ang pamilya. Dapat lang po ingat buhay para sa hanap buhay. Basta trabaho, kita at hanap buhay ang nakataya. Nasa harap niyo po ako.
Ibigay natin ang tudong suporta kay Harry.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. In other news, to ease the burden of its members, the Social Security System, or SSS, is offering a pandemic relief and condonation program for member borrowers with short-term loans. According to SSS Luzon Central 2 Vice President Gloria Corazon Andrada, the short-term member loan penalty condonation program is one of their initiatives under the Pandemic Relief and Restructuring Program. Through this, they want to lessen the burden of the members, especially those who were affected severely by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. This is one way of making them feel that there is always help that can be extended to them in times of need, Andrada said. Under the Conditional Condonation Program, Andrada said that accumulated penalties from loans will be waived from the amount that borrowers need to pay. She added that they encourage their member borrowers to avail this because they can use the amount that will be deducted to the credit for not paying the penalty to buy the family's basic needs, especially now that most of our kababayans are still recovering from the socio-economic impacts of the pandemic. To apply, the member should have a short-term member loan that is past due for at least 6 months as of the first day of the condonation availment period, which is on November 15, 2021. The Department of Justice yesterday filed formal criminal charges against 4 persons implicated in the alleged hacking of hundreds of BDO Unibank Incorporated accounts last December. In a press briefer, 4 separate inquest cases filed by the National Bureau of Investigation, Cybercrime Division or NBI-CCD in connection with the BDO heist, the DOJ, through the Office of the Prosecutor General, resolved to charge Jerome Anthony E. Diawan, Ifesinachi Fountain Anaqui, Rosalyn Panaligan, aka Luca Hanabi, and Clay Reveliosa E. Sevilla, aka X-Men, for violations of RA 8484, or the Access Devices Regulation Act of 1988, and RA 10175, or the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, and to refer the similar complaint against Chuwakema Peter Nwadi for the conduct of further investigation. The DOJ said that a motion for issuance of whole departure order will be filed against Anaqui and a motion for issuance of precautionary whole departure order against Nwadi. Based on the investigation conducted by the NBI-CCD, the DOJ said the tasks of the 5 respondents were compartmentalized as their respective participations are vital, without which fraudulent transfers or illegal access of online accounts would not be possible. It was done to prevent the transfers from being traced to a particularly person or a syndicate. And likewise, the NBI-CCD equated the modus operandi to money laundering, as the hackers with the illegal access the online banking account or banking system, they would transfer the money to a dummy bank account. The National Capital Region Police Office, or NCRPO, recorded a 16.9% decline on the focus crimes in the past 440 days, covering the period of November 10, 2020 to January 23, 2022. The latest NCR crime statistics show a total of 109,079 focus crimes compared to the 131,230 incidents recorded in the period of September 5, 2019 to November 9, 2020. Focus crimes include homicide, physical injury, robbery, theft, vehicle theft, motorcycle theft, and rape. Non-index crimes refer to all other illegal acts, including violations of special laws or local ordinances. Theft posted the biggest decline at 16% from 4,494 to 3,756, physical injury with 42% from 1,934 to 934, and robbery with 22% from 2,053 to 1,603 incidents. Stealing of motorcycles also decreased by 25% from 836 to 625, murder by 24% from 802 to 611, rape by 6% from 1,315 to 1,241, homicide by 21% from 221 to 175, carnapping of motor vehicles by 16% from 172 to 144, and occurrence of other special complex crimes by 34% from 66 to 43. Tribune News on cue will be back. Stay with us.
Botomoto Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Vaccination, isolation, gotta keep up with my nutrition, gotta maintain my body condition, then I can take my vaccination. What do I choose? What do I take? As long as it is not a fake. AstraZeneca, Moderna, BioNTech, even Sinovac, okay now. Pababakuna ka ba? 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 Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, pababakuna ka ba? 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 Paturok, paturok, paturok.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Boto mo to, Halalan 2022, the Daily Tribune special coverage.
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. Now for our foreign news, the United States on Tuesday warned Moscow of damaging sanctions, including measures personally targeting President Vladimir Putin if it moves ahead with an invasion of Ukraine, as Russian combat troops massing around the pro-Western country launched new exercises. Tension appeared to be increasing, with the White House saying the risk of a Russian invasion of Ukraine remains imminent, warning that such a move would prompt enormous consequences and even change the world. President Joe Biden said he would consider adding direct sanctions on Putin to a raft of measures of being drawn up. Biden agreed that he would see that when asked by reporters in Washington about targeting the Russian president, whom opponents have long accused of holding gigantic secret wealth. New measures would include restrictions on exports of high-tech U.S. equipment in the artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and aerospace sectors, the official told reporters on condition of anonymity. The official said that they were talking about the sophisticated technologies that they have designed and produced, and cutting them off would hit Putin's strategic ambitions to industrialize his economy quite hard. French President Emmanuel Macron said he would talk by telephone with Putin on Friday, seeking clarifications on Moscow's intentions. And that wraps up the stories this morning. But before we go, we would like to thank the following: the SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista, and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its Viber community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.